has more nuclear weapons than any other country and push them into a direction where their only friends are other enemies of America, other totalitarian regimes, is that a sane foreign policy? Is that a sane foreign policy?
I would say that.
Is it a sane cultural, domestic policy to say that children have a constitutional right to puberty blocking hormones?
I mean, to both of those things, so like
which just came out recently.
They're very nuanced issues, like they're very complex.
Yes.
So yes,
4-year-olds having a constitutional right to block puberty. Explain the nuance.
Not even.
Let's go with the nuance.
There's obviously more to this. The conversation,
yes.
Of course. So in Ukraine, yes, we do. I mean, I can't speak for Chris, but I obviously support.
The Nazis in the Ukraine.
No, not. There's bad people everywhere. We don't support that, but we support.
But those are the people fighting the war in the Ukraine.
Not all.
The Azov Battalion and a lot of their special forces are avowed neo-Nazis.
Not all.
Which is okay. Listen, let's just be honest about it. We're supporting those We like those Nazis. They're the good Nazis.
Well, it's not that we want to support Nazis. It's that, an anti-democracy enemy is invading a pro-democracy ally.
Didn't Ukraine ban a lot of the pro-Russian parties after the last election? Is that democratic?
Man, Tim Dillon is freaking nailing these guys.
He operated and they were banned. But that doesn't feel like democracy to me.
Definitely not as dumb
Russian
as
parties were doing a lot of harm in Ukraine. Now, obviously, I don't agree with that. I'm not here to be a spokesman.
But this
for
idea, if we want to talk about nuance, which I love nuance.
Me too.
I love nuance. And we're going to say, do you think America is out there? Do you think the American foreign policy is about spreading democracy and securing democracy?
I think it's more than just preserving democracy. Obviously, I don't think
it's a lot. It seems to be a lot more.
It's a lot more, but
it's a lot more.
I think it's in the United States' interest to not have Russia get stronger. And I think that's at the core of this. Ukraine has a lot of raw materials.
But Russia's becoming now an ally, and they've been pushed together with China.
They were always allies. Russia
but
and
this
China
is
were
now,
always allies.
we've isolated Russia. They've now gone and said, who's our one friend? Oh, our one friend is China. Now you're looking at this Eastern alliance. So I agree with you. Obviously, you don't want to make Russia stronger, right. But we've also put Russia into a corner by supporting Ukraine the way that we have, by not going in there and urging any type of peace deal. We've put Russia in the position of two outcomes. One, they are demoralized and they leave the country in defeat. There's an almost certain coup. Putin's ousted. He knows that. Or they leave and say, sorry, our bad. Or the second option, they use nuclear weapons or they continue to fight in Ukraine. We've done nothing to bring about any resolution here where Russia can save face and we can have some type of solution.
Mistake.
It seems like it's a very foolhardy foreign policy to isolate Russia in the way that we have and basically give them two options. Absolute total defeat, or God forbid them using a nuclear weapon or the continuation of this war and the death of more Ukrainians.
Well, to be clear, the United States and Ukraine have reached out to Russia to have peace talks. Yeah, they've tried extensively.
It's actually been reported that
they nuked the peace talks.
I think that's
actually been incredibly reported.
They nuked the peace talks, bro.
Boris Johnson.
Not only did they nuke the peace talks,
Zelensky or something.
Well, first of all, we're the United States. NATO, we are giving them all the money. We're giving them all the weapons. How hard are we pushing peace talks if we're literally flooding the country with what? We're not requiring them. We should literally say, you need to have peace talks or we're not going to fund this war with no end in sight.
I think the idea was that we're not going to start talking peace until Russia agrees to, stop just mass murdering civilians and committing war crimes.
It's a war and that's unrealistic. You have to come to the table.
Exactly. Well, exactly. So
I'm just saying, when you're talking about sanity, you say Donald Trump's a lunatic. I might agree with you, but I see 4 years of Donald Trump. We're not in a lot of foreign entanglements. We're not on the verge of a real problem with Russia and China, to be honest. I'm seeing right now this bellicose foreign policy led by neocons, war hawks, who are now all on the Democratic side. Bill Kristol hates Donald Trump. All of these guys that supported the Iraq war hate Donald Trump. They are now all apparatchiks for Biden's administration. They're on MSNBC. They are pushing war. They are pushing the continuation of not only this war, they're pushing maybe further conflicts with China. So to me, when you talk about sanity, I say to myself, that seems insane.
But to be clear, it's the idea that we're pushing Russia and China closer together is not I don't think founded in fact. Russia and China have always been close together, and China have specifically come out very publicly and said that we disavow this. We want Russia to be peaceful. We want an end to this war. Now, might there be more trade? Possibly. But I think that we can't just sit while other countries are getting invaded. Like, if we were just like, well, we don't really want to get involved. Let's just have all these.
What is the American interest in the Ukraine, and what is our vital national security interest in the Ukraine? What is our vital national security? And I remember, I'm old enough